A red flag warning for San Diego County is going into effect right now. And this afternoon, we've already seen a fire break out. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Carlo Chiquetto. A lot of you no doubt saw the smoke from this. Less than 2 hours ago, emergency crews responded to a fire at MCAS Miramar. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez is near the base with the very latest for us. Jasmine.
Right, so I mean, this fire, it created quite a bit of smoke, and even right now, we're still seeing some white smoke in the distance. Now, the fire was here on base just past this fence. Now, here's video of the fire earlier, shortly after it broke out. Officials tell us the fire spread over about 3 acres of land. Now, we're told 2 water-dropping helicopters and multiple fire engines worked to put out this blaze. Now, it was a slow-moving fire, which helped crews to contain it. The San Diego Fire Department says the fire wasn't causing any threats to structures, and fire crews really did a great job knocking out this fire quickly. And we have to keep in mind that these strong winds and very dry brush, dry conditions, they are greatly increasing our fire risk. Carlo, Hannah.
All right, so are there road closures in that area, Jasmine?
As far as where we are right now, no, there's not really anything. The fire was really far out on the base. I mean, we could see some smoke from where we're at now, but no road closures that we're aware of.
Fortunately, the biggest impact here is a little bit of a scare. Jasmine Ramirez reporting for us live. Thanks, Jasmine.
And the fire danger is very high right now. No one wants to see a disaster here like they're experiencing in LA. Power could be cut off to thousands of San Diegans tonight to try and prevent that.
Yeah, let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis for a look at what we're facing in the coming days when it comes to this returning fire weather. Carlene?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the key, returning. So we are still dealing with dry conditions out there, as we did have weaker Santa Ana winds that developed over the weekend. But now we are gearing up for weather impact alert days because of strong gusty winds and critically low relative humidity values bring us right back into that high risk zone. And that's going to be all the way through Wednesday. So talking about not just the red flag warning, but also a wind advisory that is now in effect, and that will keep going until 6 p.m. for Wednesday. So you're talking sustained wind speeds about 20 to 40 miles per hour out of the northeast, that typical offshore flow with Santa Ana winds, and those gusts expected to be upwards of about 55 miles per hour. Now, I will say this, the wind gusts are not as strong, the projection not as strong as the last round that we had, but because we're already dry, we are talking about that just basically bringing us down into those low humidity values. So still, regardless of the intensity of wind speeds, you still have that dry air that's going to be out there as these winds do pick up. So that also leads to down trees and power lines and the potential of seeing some of the power cut off for some communities because we are going to be under that red flag warning. It's in effect right now, went into effect about 3 minutes ago, and it's going to last all the way through Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Humidity values getting as low as about 11%. So if any little spark would develop from now all the way through this period, that would likely lead to a rapid spread and rapid growth. So that is why we're back on being on high alert. When we look at our in-house model for the offshore wind gusts, you're looking at it extend even closer towards the coast, about 27 miles per hour for Del Mar. That is by tomorrow afternoon. So around this time, we'll be talking about some pretty gusty conditions out there. You got the 30s, you also have the 20s that you're seeing for portions of the inland valleys. You got 30s for the mountains, and that's exactly where the more critical fire weather concerns are going to be. The inland valleys and the mountains over the next couple of days becomes a little bit more concentrated for the backcountry, and that is going to be about 6 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday. And as mentioned, it goes all the way until 6 p.m. Wednesday night for that red flag warning.
So we'll be standing on guard for the next few days with these kind of conditions returning.
Yes.
Very dangerous stuff.
Yes, unfortunately, it's also a really bad thing to talk about when you're still talking about the fires in LA. Their wind gusts are going to be upwards of about 70 miles per hour.
Hate to hear that. All
Thanks,
right, Carlene, thanks. At least 24 people have been killed in the LA wildfires. Dozens more is still missing.
Yeah, more than 92,000 Los Angeles County residents are still under evacuation orders right now. This afternoon, Governor Gavin Newsom is proposing at least $2.5 billion in additional funding to help with the response. At last check, the Palisades fire was 14% contained. Nearly 24,000 acres there have burned.
And we've seen a lot of videos of celebrity mansions and TV and movie landmarks turned to rubble. But the fires roaring through Los Angeles are also affecting historic and minority neighborhoods like Altadena.
CBS 8's Abby Black spent the day in Altadena, where people are returning to their neighborhoods, hoping to find their homes still standing somehow. And I understand you actually had good news for one woman there, Abby.
Yes, Carlo, we are on the west side of Altadena, and many of these families still cannot get inside, and they have no idea when they'll be able to do that. We saw a lot of utility crews here, but still, there's no word on when they'll be able to return to their homes. And this is what many will find. Homes charred, their cars charred. You can see this path of destruction where this fire raged through these neighborhoods. And seriously, it's the first thing that comes to my mind is apocalyptic. As we drove through these neighborhoods, we saw homes after homes gone. And then you would see another home standing, as appearing as if it was untouched. And then the next door neighbor, their home was burned. Some of these cars were able to be saved. But we also found that they were pink with polka dot tags, and that signifies that the property has been inspected. What's been really helpful is that the county started posting that information on a fire damage assessment map so people can better understand the extent of damages. We've also seen law enforcement guarding these busy intersections to keep families out. And I also want to mention that when we were on the outside of one of the barriers, we also saw a family, and we met a family at a donation site. And when I was just asking her and talking to her about it, when she evacuated, and I asked, you know, do you have any status of what's going on with your house? And she just teared up. She says, I have no idea. She evacuated in the middle of the night with her 6 and her 4-year-old children. And so I told her, you know what, we're going to check on your home.
I don't know what happened where we're living. I don't know. That's very, I don't know. I don't have words to explain.
I can go check it for you if you want.
Okay.
I see the apartment still standing. There's no damage.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, what number are you?
15, apartment 15.
15? Okay, let
Yes.
me, do you want me to take a picture of it and send it to you?
Okay.
Yeah. So that one's 11. Where's 15? Oh, here's 15. You have a Christmas wreath in front on the front door?
Yes.
Yep. It looks like, you know, there's a lot of ash around, but it doesn't look like it's damaged at all. And this is the apartment complex, 403 Figueroa, where Jacqueline and her family live. And like I said, you can still see ash. I'm going to show you, can see these hoses that are strewn out. Oh my gosh, I spot a kitten back there. I'm going to go back there and check on that cat. But you can see that these hoses are strewn out where people tried to probably douse the flames here. You see these fire extinguishers, you see screens that are also busted out. This is just the sign of what families were trying to do to try to save their homes and save whatever they can. But then once they had to evacuate, they had to get out here, and they have not been able to return. So it was such a delight to be able to share with Jacqueline that her home has been saved. But again, even if you are able to move back into your communities, you look around and you look around this apartment complex and everything's gone. So we have to continue to support these families.
Yeah, I mean, in a sea of destruction there, you found kind of an oasis of hope. No one's there right now. They're evacuated. Can you tell us how difficult is it to get into the neighborhoods? What kind of security procedure do you have to go through? Do you have to show media ID? Because there was no one around in any of your shots.
Right. I mean, when you walk in and drive into these neighborhoods, you won't find anybody in here, which is good news because you have the National Guard. You also have local police and CHP that are guarding the perimeter of the fire line. And so when you do try to get in, they ask you for your media credentials. And even though there are some homes, like we can see that there's power restored, or we see some of the traffic lights on, And I could overhear people telling the officers in front of us what address they live at, and they must show their license. So, but again, they're not allowed inside that fire line at all, and there's still no word on when they'll be able to return their homes. Right now, utility crews, we've seen them everywhere, have been trying to work to restore power, but not just that, repair some of these damaged lines. But it is dangerous because we're seeing these lines that are just crisscrossing all across the roads. We've seen power lines kind of like chapstick or matchsticks, you know, just coming down. And so it really isn't safe for people just to be walking around. So I understand people want to come in and they want to see the damage to their home, or they just want to see if their home is still standing. But again, that's why they're just trying to keep people at bay. But hopefully they'll be able to return at some point just to see what the damage is like.
Yeah, a lot of reasons to keep people out. But Abby, you were able to tell a woman that her house is okay, and you're about to save a kitten. So this is a really good report we've got going on. Thanks so much, Abby.
Yes.
Thanks, Abby. Today, the San Diego Humane Society, speaking of cats, was able to send off nearly 20 dogs to their new foster families in an effort to free up kennel space here to take in more animals that are impacted by the LA wildfires.
CBS 8's Kelly Hesdahl joins us live from the Gain Street campus with how we can all get involved. Kelly?
That's right. And the one thing that you can really do right now to help out pets in Pasadena, in the LA area, is to foster a dog here in San Diego. So this handsome gentleman right here, this is Rex. He is about 6 years old. He's very gentle. He's very loving. Check out these giant paws of his. But he is in need of a forever home and also of a foster family. So earlier today, some of his friends here at the San Diego Humane Society went to their foster homes, and it was pretty special.
Something that my partner and I have been wanting to do for a couple of years, and this year was the year we're going to do it. And then with the catastrophe happening in LA, we knew that the Humane Society was going to be really desperate to find homes for all the animals. So this was the time.
Dog sitters.
And that was Justin Coda. He and his partner live in Normal Heights, and today they took home Plum. I introduced you to Plum during our midday show, and shortly after our hit at 11:30, Plum went to her new foster family. She got right into their car and was ready to go. Justin was really happy. They lost their dog 7 years ago and said that Plum seemed like she was going to be a great fit. We also saw a German Shepherd named Leslie go to her foster mom. Leslie is one of the dogs who came here last week from Pasadena. And there was also a little dog, a little bulldog mix, who went to his new foster family. So this is all happening as team members are working around the clock up in the LA area, feeding livestock, taking care of them, going behind the fire lines to reach animals, including pigeons and fish. The need right now is to find homes, even temporary ones, for the bigger dogs. A lot of the ones who came in from Pasadena are larger dogs. So the Unicorn Foster Family, if you will, is a home where there are no other pets, where there are no young children, but anyone who wants to help out should fill out an application.
Fostering is always important, but right now especially, you are not just helping the animal that you foster and take home with you, but you're making space in the shelter so that even more animals with really nowhere else to go have a second chance.
And after some of our coverage last week, the San Diego Humane Society received 400 applications from people who want to foster pets. So that is incredible. Obviously, they're not all going to be the right fit for the dogs that are out there right now, but they, again, say that you should always fill out an application. One thing I do want to note is that they are looking for large dog crates because a lot of their crates went up to the LA area to help out the animals there. So if you have one to donate, you can drop that off at any San Diego Humane Society location. Carlo and Anna?
Well, that is a gorgeous dog you're with right now. Kelly, what's the latest with the Pasadena dogs that came here to the San Diego Humane Society? Have any of them been adopted, and will more be coming in?
Yeah, so we've got really exciting news. You know, Ellie, one of the dogs that we featured last week that came from Pasadena, she was adopted over the weekend. I'm told a few others from Pasadena have already been adopted as well, so that is certainly great. But yeah, they are expecting to get more dogs in, but right now the focus is on clearing the shelters as much as they can, freeing up some space so that they have room for more animals.
Nice to see people stepping up to do what they can to support. Kelly Hesdahl reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.